we normally do. You know, we're hanging out. Keep those hearts coming. I appreciate it. You know, let's get some people in here. Get those little stats up. You know, you like it, then they think you like it, and then they'll send other people here. It's awesome. It's a great way to do it. But I've been trying a new format where I'm running a live on TikTok, and then I'm also running a live on YouTube and Facebook and somewhere else, Stitch, all at the same time. I'm trying it. I couldn't quite get Instagram running too. I almost had it. The integration is not, for whatever reason, is failing to log in on my computer, but I'm going to figure it out, and it's going to be great. So the fun new news is for chat and lives and things like that, because I'm going to have them on a couple different platforms. And also, TikTok has been so weird with my stuff lately about what they're showing to people. I went ahead and created a Discord so we can have a little bit of community conversation and stuff like that in there, and share links and things from live. You know, when we're like, people are asking, oh, what's a good book? I'm like, well, yeah, good luck sharing a link on TikTok, you know. So now we have a place we can chat about stuff, which is cool. A bunch of people, I was running a live early, and a bunch of people already got on there. If you look in my link tree, you can easily find the link over there. But welcome, everybody. Welcome. Glad to have you. Like I said, I'm trying a new thing on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and Stitch all at the same time. Normally it's just hanging on TikTok. But welcome to people hanging on Facebook. Glad to have you. Who knows? Who knows what they'll experience on Facebook, you know? Because Facebook is a lot of old friends from forever ago, 2007, you know, long time ago. And there's a lot of old church people in there, people I led worship for and stuff. And, you know, I have a completely different outlook on life now. And it'll be intriguing to see what they find. Oh, someone's still watching on Facebook. What's up over there? I can check here. I got a computer running too. Let's see if I remember how to work Facebook. How was your day, mate? My day? How was my day? It was kind of filled with, it was a little bit sluggish. It was like filled with technical stuff. You know what I mean? I was setting up a bunch of different account things for live streaming, trying to figure out how I could set up a, you know, run to multiple different platforms. So it's just like a lot of technical stuff. It was just, I feel a little bit like, you know, normally I'm a little more energized, but you know, it was IT day. It's okay. Got 3 appointments tomorrow. It's gonna be great. Excited about that. A couple of my favorite clients coming in. Always fun to work with. Anyway, I wanted to talk about healing emotions and things like that. As I like to do, obviously, if you've ever hung out and watched the videos and things like that, I love rambling on about figuring out ways to heal our emotions. And it's like, well, why? What's the big deal? You know, what's the big deal with that? You know, for years it's like, just shove them down. You know, don't cry about it. Don't be so emotional. You know, suck it in, kind of vibes. So what's the emphasis on healing our emotions? What's that emphasis on, you know, our nervous system and regulating our nervous system and all this stuff like that? You know, inner work and inner child work and healing, you know, all the hippie stuff. Like, what's with the emphasis on all that? Why do we need that in our life? Why couldn't we just keep doing it same old, you know? Turns out same old sucked and everybody's miserable, right? Have you noticed? Yeah, I saw that. I saw that too out there. Everybody's in pain, scrapping around. It's always been the same drama, year after year after year after year. Like, there's hilarious like posters, these editorials from newspapers that you can see about just some super dramatic thing, like, oh, they're not going to let us grow our corn crops. Oh, you know, it's like this really over dramatized thing. It's like change, progress, whatever life moving around, and people get so freaked out by it, you know. And then later on it's like, oh, glad we changed that, you know, glad we stopped doing slavery. That was a good plan. So things change and progress, you know. Technologies change and progress. Our philosophical ideals change and progress. Religions change and progress. The old gods die away, you know, to make way for the new ideals. Zeus is no longer shitting out lightning bolts, It's a cool idea. Oh, man. If I'm playing guitar on this other feed, I can't see the guitar. Oh, well, TikTok hits the good feed. Ha! Should have been on TikTok, suckers. So what's the that emphasis we put on things right now in society of fixing this nervous system, fixing our feelings, and not a lot of societies putting emphasis on it, but some of those who are wise are, been trying to do it for years. Jesus was doing it, Buddha was doing it. People just don't quite get how important it is because we always separate all of our feelings out from our human experience. But the trick is our feelings are our human experience. That is our connection. That is our the way we read the world, all of our feelings, the way we feel about it. How do you feel about your experience? I feel this way about it. That's your perspective. That is your lens of understanding based on your context, your conditioning. So the emphasis on emotional care is really an emphasis on like this holistic care of self, not just the emotions, but this mind, body, soul thing. Because now we can see in all of these different studies and just science and the way things work, it's like, okay, now we understand the reason that we feel different things is because of these different neuroreceptors and effectively these different hormone set that get injected into our body through thought processes. Now we understand this. Okay, before in the dark ages, the literal dark ages, and we're just coming out of this thinking, feelings, especially really big, gnarly feelings, were treated as effectively an evil spirit. Even the lore of it, even in Catholicism, they still practice exorcisms to this day. So it's an active energy work practice that they do. They'll send someone to the house if little Susie's in her bedroom cutting herself. She's got a demon. I mean, I see the same people in my practice and doing emotional alchemy that have been cutters or some gnarly shit. It's not a demon, it's trauma. It's literally just trauma. It is like something like that. People that will scrape, or maybe it's something you do. You might not even realize you do it, but a lot of people will take something. Here's a piece of bamboo that I was using as a wand earlier, and maybe take this sharp edge and like just mindlessly like dig it into their skin, just like just to where it's like almost bloody, and it's not. I have a couple clients who'll do things like that. It's like a trauma response, and they don't even know it sometimes. It's like they're trying to just mindlessly feel something, like, oh, I just need to feel, and I was like, oh, there's a feeling, because their emotions are so shut off, because they're so scared and shut in on themselves from these different traumatic events. And so in the past, we see these trauma responses of these self-destructive behaviors and things, or really, really aggressive acting out behaviors, as, oh, someone has a demon, they got a demon in them. And that was effectively how it was looked at by the church. And the church was the one that fancified the whole idea of demonology with King James, doing a translation of the Bible for the common man, right? You guys have probably heard of the King James Bible. King James didn't actually do the King James Bible. He had his people do it for him, right? It wasn't just him. But before he did the Bible, he had his people do the book of demonology. So he was really into this idea of these like gremlin-y feelings and stuff like that. He was really into the idea of demons, this picture of what these things felt like, and he had fancified these images of demons in illustration in the Middle Ages, and then that's the birth, the idea of these demons. And really it's just trauma. And I've told the story many times before on live, that, or even on some other videos. I have one client who used to be a an exorcist for the Catholic Church. He's a minister of the Catholic Church, and he worked as an exorcist, and he had done over 3,500 exorcisms. And he's like, yeah, he's like, it's just trauma. He's like, after a while, I realized, he's like, I didn't have to say the holy words or use the holy water or anything. I just had to like move my hands in the right like sequences and positions, like they're what how they do their energy work stuff, and this energy would pass through these like demons. People would start to heal and things like that. And it's intriguing how we look at demons and things in our society, and how we look at trauma, and look at how much we have suppressed trauma and mental illness in our societies. And by the way, keep the hearts coming there on the old TikTok. Yeah, go ahead and share this with some friends. Even if you just copy the share link, it'll be good. And we're running this on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch. We got one person hanging out on Facebook. Cool. What's up, Facebook? Welcome. How are you doing? Seth, is that you, buddy? I saw Seth Aguilar. I'm trying to track these things and see if it works. One day soon, I'm gonna get Instagram running too. It's gonna be a mega live. It'll be great. I want to help people deprogram the cult mindset. I know there's people are doing that already, but it's really important to me because that's what helped me. Yeah. Dude, good heart. Keep it up. Thank you for that. Yeah, I will keep it up. To help people reprogramming the cult mindset. So you talking like coming out of really, really, fundamentalist religions, or were you in a Western churchianity? What kind of cult mindset do we need to kind of rework here? I'd love to jump in on something like that with you there. And anybody hanging out in Facebook in other land? Oh shit! Almost running out of batteries here. That wouldn't be good, man. I know there's a way where I can monitor some comments or something like that, but I don't know how to do it on this app. I'll figure this out eventually, guys. I'm gonna go pro. You watch. Private chat? No. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. If you guys, word to the wise, if you guys want to jump on some communication and stuff like this, and going a little bit deeper into questions, things like that, there is a community Discord now open, and you can jump on there and have a chat in the live. If you're on multiple devices, you can run Discord on one and live on another, or you can run. I'm pretty sure you can go into Discord and chat while the live's still running, depending on the device. You know what I mean? So it gives a little bit easier way than how when we're on or hanging out and someone's like, "What book?" and I'm like, "This book, this guy's name," or trying to spell it out in comments. It's like way easier. I can just send you guys a link here in the Discord comments, and we'll be able to network a little bit better there, have a little bit more community. So if you do go to the if you have a Discord, you get it. It's just a rad little message board, easy way to communicate, stuff like that. And also on Discord, I can take a live like calls. There's like a voice chat in there, so you guys can jump on there, and I can take some questions and things like that, and then be able to answer them, which would be pretty freaking cool if you ask me. So please do hit the link tree in my profile and jump on the Discord there. It is open, and there's already a few people in there. Looks like there's 7 people in the Discord so far. We ran a little live earlier, just setting this stuff up to see what was happening, and looks like it's working, which is cool. All right, so I didn't get any more info there on that deprogram that cult mindset, but that's a tricky one when you've been raised in religion, and I was raised within kind of Western Christianity. When you've been raised in a very strict dogma, it's a long haul to unpack that stuff. It's really ground into your system. It's ground into the way you feel about everything. It's like you can't help it. Yeah, you can feel totally fine about sex and intimacy and all that stuff. You can conceptualize all of that as fine, but you'll still feel some shame, some old like culty puritanical culture programming of shame like in your bones a little bit. Like it really is like, oh, how do I deal with this? Even if you conceptualize it out of it, because you've been so programmed in these culty, like very super orthodox, maybe not orthodox, that's not the right word, but like very dogmatic Western religion. You get so like programmed by the shame of it, because it all runs on shame. Are you up on Mount Fuji right now? You made it? That was fast. You just ran up there and jumped on TikTok? Jeez. I was just saying we have a Discord. Can you take a picture of where you're at on Mount Fuji and post it in the Discord so we can all see? Because that's incredible. How fast can you run up Mount Fuji? I assumed that it would be a longer. I mean, I figured you would be up there for days. Bloody fingers. Yeah, we're on. If you look in my link tree in my profile on TikTok, there's a new link in there for the Discord, which is just a community discussion board. And I think if you drop the photo in there, it would be amazing. I'm pretty sure you can get in there. It's open. I realize you're on Mount Fuji right now, which is incredible. So thanks for coming and dropping in. That's cool. And thank you for the roses, guys. Appreciate you. And if you could keep liking, hitting the screen if you're going to hang out, just go twitchy for a little while, You had been scrolling, but you want to stop that stretching motion. You're going to pull something right here. So now transition to more of a tapping motion with your thumb, just continual. Or if you're really good, put it on your bed and just sit there right in front of it and do this. Then it'll be a whole shit ton of likes, Then TikTok will be like, oh, maybe we'll show this to someone else. Those bastards. I love them. I love them. I love TikTok. I love them. I'm only going to say nice things about them. I feel like I'm in a fight with the AI, right? A real petulant, like childish fight. Like I say nasty things about TikTok, and then TikTok's algorithm is like, I'll give you less views. And it's like, no, God damn it, you guys. Why do you got to be like that? You always come up on my For You page. Love your stuff. I'm glad. I was coming up on a lot more people's For You pages. A lot. It was the stats were through the roof. And then one day it just stopped doing it. And I don't know what happened, but it's definitely not the same as it was a couple months ago. That's for sure. Which is okay. Like, for instance, I started a live, a couple months ago, and there would be, in fact, sometimes 200 people in here to start out with, and a whole bunch of people would hang. We'd have 60 people hang through the night. Now, start a live out, 10 people show up, and, it's basically the same format, if not even better, because I've gotten a little better at doing it. But so I don't really know what's happening with the TikTok algorithm. I'm just going to keep doing my thing, though, and trying to help people heal. Because it's so nice. Why do I want to help people heal their emotions? You may be asking. What is this burning mission in your heart, Daniel? Why? What's the deal here? Because it was so freeing for me in my experience to work through my shit effectively, to learn to heal my emotions, to learn to come to a space of peace within my own heart, a space of contentment with life and whatever comes at me my way. I'm just like, okay, here's life happening. Sometimes it goes real sideways. And I've learned through all of the experiences of life is like, oh, this is nothing against me. This is all moving in a direction for me. I'm gonna revel in the beauty of this. I'm gonna trust this process. I'm gonna really let this thing happen and have a great old time. And that came from really deeply like going in on my emotions, the things that triggered me, the things that made me upset, the things that made me sad, the things that made me have weird clingy energy, needing things from other people to validate me. When I was able to heal all those things effectively, I was able to effectively stop doing all those things, or doing them at a much less and less and less. It cleaned up my whole experience. And so as I move through life, it's this beautiful space of having a great time, you know, and I see everybody else is all miserable. And I just want to be like, guys, it's not that bad, you know? It's all in your head, but it's hard to get people to realize that. So that's okay. Hold on. How bright are these lights? Sometimes when it's brighter during the day, I have to turn these things up, otherwise it looks all weird. But then as soon as it gets darker, then I look all crazy blown out. Man, I don't like the camera and lighting down here in this other live. Hey, Facebook, whoever's hanging out, glad to have you. Trying to figure out the lighting on this, but not liking it. We're just gonna live with it, kids. You know, it's just the way it is. Let's turn this down. See how that looks. Maybe that'll be better. It's not doing anything for that bottom one. Oh well. Anyway, so the whole I don't know, whole idea of healing these emotional spaces really takes you into a space of freedom in your experience, where you're not all worked up all the time. You're not constantly triggered all the time. You're not constantly in anxiety all the time. You're not constantly in these phases of anxiety to depression all the time. And I'll tell you exactly how these maybe feeling states or emotionals work, and how your emotionals work, and cause these dysregulated states of nervous system. Effectively, what happens is we learn something in our experience. You know, somebody tells us, "Oh, don't do that. You should have shame about that. You're doing that wrong." You know, whatever it is. You know, bad and naughty. Don't do the thing. So you're just this mushy little kid. You know, not thinking much. You know, just putting rocks in your mouth, see what they taste like, having some experience. And then one day somebody goes, "No, that's bad." And you go, "Ooh, my little nervous system, shit." And then you realize, "Oh, I'm bad." Okay, so now you start thinking you're bad. And the more we are suppressed in that, and okay, so then more things happen in life. You know, you think you're bad, you don't really realize you're not bad. You feel bad though because somebody told you were bad, and that keeps happening. You know, you keep trying things out, and someone tells you, "Oh, don't do that one. That's not good." And we all have all this shame. And that just builds up. And so many of us are raised in families where our parents didn't know how to clear their stuff out. And so they didn't teach us, you know. They pass their wounds on to us. And when we can actually clear these things out, and I'll tell you what the process looks like for clearing those emotions out. Effectively, what I mean is to come to grips with these old emotional states, these old stories. And because these traumas and these painful things effectively hide in our bodies, we feel it all the time. That's the anxiety you feel. That's the really shitty, depressing feelings you feel in your body. You feel it kind of all the time, like this low grade, always feeling it. But you don't realize it. That's just sort of the pain of the experience. And that's that feeling of like, why isn't this working? Ugh, it all feels jammed up. I don't know what's going on here. And we don't even realize that we are so emotionally dysregulated. So here's a little self-test, right? To see if you're emotionally dysregulated or not. On a scale of, 1 to 10. No, that's horrible. Let's not make this confusing. Let's make it real easy. Can you move through life untriggered by everyone, 80% of the time, 80, 90% of the time? Like nobody bothers you. Now, maybe, some exceptions, like your mom, she'll get you every time. Your kids. But general life, like the general population offend you? You get worked up? You have road rage? Are you always constantly like, "Oh, these people, I can't believe that." Things like that. Then you're emotionally dysregulated. You don't know how to accept other people, and other people just simply being who they are, having their own human experience just like you are, going through their own journey. There's nothing to offend you. That's just something to accept and love. Say, hey, there's somebody else doing that. So all of our offense that we see in others, and all of the pain that we we create in our own bodies by being offended at others is that emotional dysregulation. If you're ever triggered into trauma response states, social anxiety, these big crushing anxiety feelings, just triggered into the weird states for no reason, you know, satiating behaviors, scratching, cutting, rocking behaviors, stuff like that, where you're like, why is my body doing this? I'm acting strange. I don't get it. Those are trauma responses for sure. That's all going to be emotional dysregulation. That's kind of more high end of the spectrum. So many people have no idea that they know that something's up, but they have no idea that they've been through trauma. There's a whole segment of trauma, which I have dubbed white kid trauma. No, you don't have to be a white kid to get this trauma. I mean, you can be any tone. This trauma does not discriminate. It's not exclusive to white kids, but it's white kid trauma, because here's what it is. It is the trauma of the privileged, of the latchkey kid, of the two parents that worked super hard to take care of everything, send their kids to school, but they were just never there for their kids. They're never there to hold them. They're never there to see them. And then I work with a lot of people like that just, they're like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I had a great life. That's like when asking questions about their family. And it's like, well, how was mom? How was mom and dad? Like that. And it's like, oh, nothing ever happened to me. But, oh, yeah, well, they were fighting and that. And I had to explain to them how that programs their nervous system at different times. And it feels like trauma, even though it's just some like secondhand trauma. It's the trauma of that high pressure, suburbia American family where everything's got to look good and be okay. And you got to do everything just right. And you're sheltered and, don't do wrong and all this stuff, put the silverware in the right space. And though it is not the trauma of a child who has, been forced to shoot his parents, to be desensitized, to join a militia in Uganda as a child soldier, it's not that kind of trauma. It's not the same. But man, it really fucks people's nervous system up. It really gets people in a state of never feeling good enough, never feeling seen. And it's like, it's devastating, completely devastating to people. They get locked up. They don't figure out how to heal this stuff and clear it out. And so there's so many different things that can create a state of emotional dysregulation. So basically just my philosophy is just choose perfection all the time. Everything's perfect. I love it. And then anything that doesn't feel like perfection, they're like, there's your work to do. Okay, well, why don't I love this? What's my deal here? Thanks for likes, guys. Keep liking that screen. Okay. Oh man, you guys were going. There we go. Tips for not moving too fast with a girl, practicing non-attachment. Nice. Okay, I like this. That's some cool stuff there. Also, guys, if you want, if you are savvy, and welcome if you just joined, I'm Daniel. There is a Discord discussion board that I'm going to get kind of running when we're doing lives, so we can all jump on there and share different book titles, share different things like that. Tyack is on Mount Fuji right now, or Fiji. I keep saying Fuji, not Fiji. Fuji. He hiked up yesterday. It was on live. He's like, I'm hiking up. I'm a little nervous, and he's just got on here. He's like, I'm here. So I'm like, take some pictures and post it in the Discord so we can all see it. But there's a Discord discussion board, which will have a couple different things up there for kind of talking about the things we like to talk about on here, and a place where it keeps going after the live is over. We can continue a little bit of conversation and share things like that. So that's a good. Okay, not moving too fast with a girl, practicing non-attachment. That's super, super, like, really, I love that. That just tells me that you're in a good space. You know what I mean? You're being mindful about this relationship. Okay, I don't want to move too fast. I want to get to know this person. I value this person, and I want to make sure everything's cool, because this is somebody I see something cool with, or potential with. So that shows a lot of respect for yourself, for her, and that's great. Like, bravo. At the same time, we get really worked up about what's too fast, because sometimes we go too fast and get hurt. And sometimes we go just fast enough, which is way too fast, and we get hurt and we learn really good things. But I've always found that it's best to just follow your heart without any expectations of what's going to happen. Put yourself in the relationship, don't tiptoe around it. Like, get in there, be brave about it. Now, you got to hold a lot of space for that, because the closer you open in a relationship, the more you open your heart to someone, the more you effectively love them, accept them, you let them closer to you, the more potential they have to stab you right in the wounds. Right? You give them access. Here's open access to my heart. Here's all the touchy spaces, and then we have an attachment, which is great. You're practicing a non-attachment. We have some, Disneyland attachment. This is the Prince Charming. This is the princess I was looking for. Everything's happily ever after. Well, after that point, that's when it gets hard. That's when all the fuzzy feelings go poof, and you start thinking, oh, this person is going to validate me and fulfill me the same way in the future. Well, that's always up to you. And we put it on them, and we say, why aren't you the way you are, the way you were? Well, there's just some simple neurological changes here going on. You stabilize your hormones and things like that, and you come into a space of unity and energy where you're not quite, it's like you eat sugar every day. You're just gonna be fat and sick of sugar, or addicted to it, But I don't know. We look for this fun, Candyland relationship thing. Oh, it's always got to just be cute and fun, instead of looking for some depth to it. And because relationships are not cute and fun, let's be honest. Everybody likes the fuzzy stuff, but nobody likes the hard stuff. It's a hard yoga class. You're in there doing the stretching and the moves and holding the poses and having to put up with a lot of stuff, But as far as not moving too fast, I don't know, follow your heart, but at the same time, use your wisdom, Don't push it. Know that if you open the relationship into greater, deeper intimacy by putting yourself in more, then you need to be able to hold for the chaos of, touching on wounds for both of you in that. Hello. Hey, you're back. You got one of the books you suggested. Thank you again. Excellent. And when the body says no, yeah. I've posted on that same Discord I was talking about. I posted a few book titles earlier today. We were talking about stress and things like that. I'm gonna turn this fan on. It's a little hot in here. What are my thoughts about music therapy? Music therapy or sound therapy? Because that's kind of a different thing. Music therapy is like, I don't know, I'm gonna go play something meaningful to you while you're in your hospital bed. And sound therapy is more, let's take a particular frequency, a tone, which this is 432, trying to get it in that camera down there too. And let's use that to effectively realign the energetic structure of your atoms using sound waves. I could talk about probably the second one is probably what you want. And you're welcome for the advice, Smashing Punks. The chemicals our bodies create trick us sometimes, for sure. When it comes to those states and things that we're feeling, we definitely have this event of getting tricked by our bodies, because we get triggered up into some old feeling. Let me turn this on. Un momento. I'll be back. So when we get in that trigger state, when we get worked up, That's always a past memory, right? It's always some past situation. I'm wearing my pants with a hole in the crotch here. Sorry about that, guys. I'm gonna adjust this upper camera here, see if I can get a different angle. I'm not looking at that one. They're just gonna have to deal with it. That'll work better, I guess. Yeah, it's hot in here tonight. It was a good one today in Encinitas. Oh yeah, yeah. So we were going to talk about music therapy. That's what we're going to talk about. Let's talk about that. The sound therapy. I like the ideas behind sound therapy. I think it gets very sensationalized though. So effectively, sound therapy, if you're not familiar with it, or like sound bowls, or using different bells, different tones, different frequencies, and things like that. So effectively, what this bowl is, this is a Tibetan singing bowl, and this style here. These brass ones are generally for ringing, so you can get a nice lower ring, or you can kind of ting them, get different tones out of them, whack them on the edge, kind of different sounds. So they all effectively creates different oscillations. You can also do the little vibration technique there, where you get it humming. So the Tibetan bowls, the brass ones, the metal ones, they don't quite sing like the crystal ones when you rub them. They're just a different material. The crystal ones are more resonant like that because it's denser, so it has more of that amplification in that sense. Just different materials, and these are much more varied. It's all hammered. It's not as concise and concentric as the crystal ones. But what's happening in these sound or healing scenarios, when you get the hippies out there and everybody's going to get in a sound bath and lay down in the field and in the backyard somewhere and do some breath work or meditate together while somebody plays a bunch of singing bowls, right? It's a cool experience. I've done it a bunch of times, and effectively what the idea is, you have these different stabilized frequencies. Like this is 432. We're supposed to be 432. It's more like 433, which is a very, very minute difference. But every time I checked it on a spectrum analyzer, it was a little bit higher than 432. So let's say it's 433. Effectively, what that is it's oscillating at 432 times in a second. The edge of it wiggles, and then it whacks all the sound waves around with the little, it sings its little bowl song. Which the bowl song, the sound that you hear, that bell-like tone, is an actual geometric pattern of sound waves. That's how your ear interprets it. And that's also why it warbles. When it moves, you can kind of, if you're in headphones, you hear it moving back and forth. Or has like a warbly sound to it if I move it. It's actually creating a geometric pattern of, it probably looks like a Christmas tree, actually, if you were to have like water waves coming out of this, because that is going to create probably like an octagonal pattern of frequency. So if it was perfectly still and it was perfectly struck, you would have this like really neat looking sound wave thing growing up out of it, if you could see the sound waves. But it's the idea with these is to take that frequency, a stabilized frequency, where this is tuned to play that frequency specifically. And that frequency vibrates with a core energy center of your body. So this one would be sacral chakra in your gut down there. So basically you're down in your pelvis, you're kind of like right in the pelvic center there, is your sacral chakra. And that is associated with like kind of caveman-like emotions, Do I have food? Do I have shelter? Do I have a mate? Am I warm? Stuff like that. Which is why when you get broken up with or somebody dies, where do you feel it? You feel it in your gut, Whoa, I got it in my gut. Same kind of thing. That's where the hormone centers trigger. That's the energy center. So with these sound healing, you'll have these set of bowls where it's like, okay, here's the root, lower than 432 or 350 to 4 something. And then it's like 400 to 500-ish and solar plexus in that 500-ish range, and that 600 to 700 in that heart chakra range, higher in the throat, up in the third eye and the crown. So these sound bowls and these sound healings work with individual energy centers, but then also what they do is they play what's called binaural beats or binaural beats, where one is bringing one tone and one is bringing the other, and you hear this weird oscillation in your head, and it's kind of an interesting, overwhelming experience. You're like, whoa, something's happening. What's happening there is, and I don't know why exactly it's like, oh, that's gonna, solve something in your body. It seems to do different interesting things. They put you into a different sort of state of consciousness. What's happening there is each ear is hearing one frequency, and because your brain wants to understand, everything's math. It's like mathematical patterns. Your brain's trying to understand the frequency, but because it's hearing two different frequencies, it's like doing math in the middle and trying to figure out what frequency it's actually hearing. So it does it does something with, it seems to do something with shifting the energies of your body around, or maybe almost like having an energetic massage where all these different areas are sort of energetically rubbed down. And I'll tell you a story of a sound healing that I did, and actually had a very profound experience with actual physical stuff. I had a crash, and I was all fucked up. So I had a sound healing. I'll tell you the story. Anyway, I see the best shirts on social media. Thank you. Appreciate that. I was riding a one wheel, which are the self-balancing death machines. They've seen them before. The big fat wheel in the middle, and you lean forward or you lean back to stop. And they go pretty fast. Right, they'll get up to 20 miles an hour. I got one to 27 miles an hour. Don't ever try that. It is the worst plan ever. I'm surprised I didn't die, honestly. I didn't crash on that one. Go figure. I did it twice, too. I tried to get faster. I couldn't break 27.4 or something like that. That was the fastest I could do. And anyway, long story short with that, I was riding with no shirt, trying to get to the dance party at the beach. It was all sunny and great, summer day, just blasting along, fresh battery. So I just took off like a bat out of hell. And then half a mile away from my house, I'm rolling on the asphalt with no shirt on, just all fucked up. Everything's hurting, my wrist, my shoulder, my elbow. Oh yeah, my elbow. Oh God, I had that hematoma. Yeah, I tore my fanny pack too. It was horrible. The whole thing was sucked. Anyway, so I still went to the dance party because I couldn't reach all the wounds on my back, so I had to have somebody help me with the band-aids. It's a good reason to go to a dance party, right? Come on. So what happened? Oh, I went to I was leading a meditation circle, and I was there every morning. I was just not going to miss it for anything. I didn't care if I was just had rolled on the asphalt at 25 miles an hour the day before and got hit an Achilles tendon with my one wheel and could barely walk and was all stiff everywhere. I was going to be at meditation circle in the morning, and I was. So I went limping in there. And my friend Jehan says, I remember the tone in her voice. She was very concerned. Daniel, what'd you do? I'm like, I'm okay, Jehan. I'm all bandaged up, blood everywhere. I was like, I just crashed on the one wheel last night. And she goes, can I do anything for you? She goes, can I give you a sound healing? I love the hippies. They're such wonderful people. Meanwhile, I probably should have gone to the hospital, I'm like, should I call 911 or get the sound bowls? Let's get the sound bowls. So that was the choice I made. Let's do the sound bowls. And we went to Jehan's place, and she set up. She's a lovely little witch, and she had this cute little witch rug, right? Little circle thing with moons on it. Oh, it was cute. Set all our little bowls up. There's crystals and stuff everywhere. It was real nice. Real nice, I wish I could have enjoyed it more, but unfortunately I was in excruciating amounts of pain and like oozing. Anyway, I found an appropriate position laying back on the couch, wincing, oh, ow, oh, doing one of those, oh, okay. Like lean in and, oh, ow, oh, ow. As the pressure goes off. Oh, those crashes are the worst. And Jaehan starts. So these bowls are all tuned from root to crown. We're talking about sound bowls if you just showed up or doing sound healings. And they're all tuned from these frequencies. So the first one, the biggest one, is the root frequency, and then the solar plexus, or the sacral, solar plexus, the heart, the throat, third eye, and the crown. So 7 bowls. So biggest root to smallest crown. And they're all about, maybe the root one is, about yay big, nice little bucket. And the littlest one is yay big, something like that. And I just passed out, I was done. Just donezo. Stick a fork in him. He's absolutely zonked. I was in that like passed out land where I wasn't really asleep. It was at that dream state, interesting meditation dream state thing, just where am I sort of thing. And Jaehan went through her bowls, playing them. And this was a really nice night. This was like a nice Encinitas night. It was perfect outside. The door was open. There was like perfect weather. It was nice in the house. Couldn't have been sweaty to save my life. It was perfect. And I was very comfortable. Well, as comfortable as you get after those kinds of crashes. So it takes a little while to get actually comfortable again. And she started at the root and she worked up to the crown. And when I woke up from my little stupor, I was like, what the? My head felt all wet. And I felt my hair. And I was like, what the? I'm laying back and it was all wet. And I sat up and all this just came down my face. All the sweat just poured down me. And I was like, what in the world? What in the actual shit is going on here? You know what I mean? If you're just joining, we're talking about a story of when I was magically healed with some sound bowls. I wasn't magically healed, but near as I did feel, my body still had all its aches and pains and bruises and dislocated rib and, all this tore up shit, real beat up. All that hurt. But it was almost like all of the pain, the overall pain, like kind of the overall tension, swelling, like that, that feverish feel you have when you have the flu and you're just like, oh, everything hurts like that after a crash. It's like your whole body has whiplash. It was like all of that pain kind of came down a little bit and I could move a little bit better. It still hurt like hell, everything hurt, but I was like, oh, this is nice. I was noticeably different, like at a much easier state in my nervous system and how I felt. And near as I could tell, what happened in that scenario was I had taken such a hit kinetically that all of that velocity of force of all of my weight traveling at 25 miles an hour or so, then hitting into the concrete, and what energy I didn't lose in the slide or the flop, which then takes away the skin. It's skin transfer of energy. You give your energy back to the asphalt. What energy is not lost there, it is kinetically forced into my atoms, my system. That's what happens with bruising and swelling and everything like that. You have a hit against something that's harder than you, like asphalt, and all of that energy does not go into the asphalt. That's more mass. You are less mass. And so it goes thunk into you, and it fucks up all your atoms to the point they get all spun up, and then they end up, changing form and things like that. They kind of overheat, in a way. And that's how you end up having all the bruising, then on this like energetic low level, it's this big atomic bruise, and then it goes up from there. And near as I could tell in that energy work session of doing the sound bowls, that was what all that came out my head, because it was unexplainable why I had so much sweat coming, like pouring down my head. It was a real nice night. All I can think of is that like spin up of all of my atoms, because I had just hit the concrete asphalt really hard. My whole being was just like, ow. And what is that? But from the lowest level, this like atomic spin up, because every atom has a particular field to it of electrons that it sort of swells and contracts, and so it's more it spins up, the more it swells up, which is why things when they heat up, or when they get hot, they expand, because heat is actually measured by effectively the spin up of the electrons of the atom, how agitated the atom is. That's why when it gets too hot, it changes form, something else, burns up, turns into steam. So there's this activity on this atomic level of these electrons spinning around that little nucleus of all of the building blocks of you. You can burn you up. You can smash you to bits. I've tried it. Pretty tough, but asphalt hurts. So all of that energy got transferred back into my atoms, which was spun up way too fast. And I think when Jahan did the whole gentle sound bowl thing, it's like it took all of that overly active energy and brought it down. You know what I mean? It was awesome. Jill, hi. What's up? I was thinking about you today. I wanted to call you again, but I knew you'd hit me up, and you're gonna hit me up. Need to call you soon. Thanks for checking in. I'm here for you, girl. I feel you there. I got you. Don't worry. You do you. Whatever's good. I'm here when you need me. But I believe in you, and I love you, and I feel you, and just keep doing your thing. You're doing great. Let's talk tomorrow. I have a couple appointments. I have where we were going to actually have your appointment. I have that slot open still. So if you want to chat, let's get on the phone and talk. I got some good ideas for you. Speaking of nothing I was speaking of, but I'm definitely changing gears. If you just got here, I'm Daniel. I do TikToks and videos and try to help people heal their emotions and come into a better way of being. And I do a process called emotional alchemy. And some of you here are clients, and some of you have wanted to try it. It's a holistic therapy. It's a modality that I kind of developed over the last few years of just healing through my own shit and working with people. It's not my own. It was more a gift for me. I just, in my own work on myself, these different things came to me, and as I practiced, and then later learned that it was like so many other traditions for the ages who held on to the same ideals. It's incredible. It's phenomenal. Anyway, Becky, hello there. I still can't get over your profile image change. Can't look at you. Thank you for the roses. Anyway, emotional alchemy is a process of kind of going into that subconscious arena and finding out why we feel the way we feel, what these old stories are. It's not like regressive memory therapy or anything like that. Like, we don't really care about the memory. The memory is the thing we're unpacking. You just got to kind of remember a memory to unpack it. It doesn't even matter what the memory is in the process. It just needs to be a hot one, like kind of a core memory. But it's kind of a strategic process of going back into the psyche a bit and figuring out why, when we learn to feel the way that we feel about life, all of these fearful things, all the things that we're bound up on, the things we can't just quite move past and stuff. So that's what I do. That's why I'm here helping you guys heal. If any of you guys are watching and you want some help, there's a ton of different ways you can get in touch or contact in the link tree in my bio. Whatever platform you're watching on, I got a few running right now. You'll be able to find the stuff there. So the main thing is emotional alchemy. That's the kind of the main primary practice. But I also do a lot of guidance calls. Just you could call it, spiritual teaching guidance type calls. Enough fucking spiritual teachers out there. I'm just trying to help people do life in a meaningful way. And we are spirit. The whole thing is spirit. We try to be so spiritual when we are spirit. We look outside of ourselves to find why we're feeling the way we're feeling, And there you are, right there with yourself all along. Can't get away. So I recently came to fruition of the love of our female goddess. Wait, hold on. What's happening here? I love you. Hey, sup, dog? Sup, G? Do you know I got nothing but love for a baby? Okay, good. So I recently came to fruition of the love of our female goddess. Okay, what's happening here? What does that mean? What fruitioned? And which female goddess? Who fruited? You fruitioned? You fruitioned her. You're gonna have to fill me in here. I'm confused. I'm a little tore up with this one. I don't even know what's happening. I'm pushing you too fast. Breathe. Breathe. You got this. I believe in you. Okay, the thing that I got distracted. The thing I was saying was that had come to mind was I've noticed with a lot of people right now, and I don't get all woo-wooed out there on astrology and stuff like that. I mean, I like it. I don't follow it religiously, but I can definitely see these patterns of energy happening. And I'm like, yeah, there's a bunch of like big space magnets out there, all these celestial orbs jacking our atomic field around all the time. So we're going to feel differently. But I have noticed in this last week or so, a lot of people are feeling some feels. Like a few clients of mine that were in really like getting in really good spaces all of a sudden just had these like, whoa. A lot of people I've noticed their immune system, it got their immune system way down. And I think one of the things I'd love to talk about is for a lot of people, I think that the different viruses and parasites that are very active in our bodies all the time, when we get in these low states of emotion energetically, we get in a very weakened immune state. All of the cells don't talk to each other. Our body gets kind of clogged up energetically, and we can actually see this within the I call it the space between the cells, all the peptide chains and little things. We can see how emotions deeply affect these communicators and things like that. Anyway, I've noticed a lot of clients and a lot of people having some big feels, and I've also noticed a lot of people have like resurgences of things. A couple clients who've had COVID and they're struggling through some muck from that, some brain fog and things like that. But people have had these, like, it seems they've had these resurgences of these different viruses or something they had long ago that was dormant in their bodies. And you can see that happen because I can like track it with people because I've been working with people for a little while, and something will trigger them up, and then they end up getting a little bit sick. They just get down for a little while, and then sure enough, they break out in psoriasis or something like that. It's happened to like a few clients, and it's like, yeah, it's hitting that immune spot, whatever it was, like triggered. Something got triggered from past context, which like weakened this immune spot, and then some old symptom that had previously been worked through springs back up again. I've seen that happen with myself. I get myself in a kind of activated into old traumas, old spaces of old wounds. I'll have old psoriasis pop up that I had previously like healed, and it was gone. And if it's like if I'm in the same energy, the same kind of feelings that I had when I got it originally, it'll totally spring back up. It's like hardwired. And the crossover between that is, we understand that in medicine and things like that, that stress has a lot to do with our immuno health. Stress has a lot to do with how well our body is working and our immune function. We can see that in Western medicine. And the stress, effectively, what I'm saying, these stress profiles, what they're doing is dysregulating like the previous energetic system, all of the little communicators between the cells and things like that. So the stress dysregulates like this, or the stress, effectively, what is a dysregulation of those. So we put that together. Oh yeah, stress. I have stress at work. Okay, but then we just accept it instead of changing our mindset or our lifestyle of why we have stress. We just go, oh yeah, there's stress. I'll just take that. I'll just be stressed. It's like, let's work on it a little bit. Okay, I'm breathing, buddy. I love you. I just want to say what's necessary and nothing more. I'm totally been just messing with you. So the belief in your creator is the man. All your spiritual realizations is the woman. Okay. What love is the fact you love women, but you don't have any controls. What love is the fact that you love women, but you don't have any controls. So belief in your creator is a man. All of the spiritual realizations is woman. I'm working this one out. I mean, I guess you're kind of referencing maybe like a masculine, feminine energy, or like a dark and a light, or yin and the yang of the elements of everything, which is effectively an idol of God, which is okay. I mean, we like to do that. We like to give God an archetype to say, creation, is God or whatever, and love is women, or I don't know. I don't know what the exact analogy you're trying to draw here, but that's a theme that we see in a lot of traditions. And in every tradition, there's always some way to define God. Our little egos have to do it. We have to create an idol. We have to either say, God is this whole force, but there's always this balance. There's this harmony. So there's this masculine, there's the feminine. And as soon as we divide that up and we say, oh, this is this and this is that, we are immediately in the original sin. We are immediately in the knowledge of good and evil. We are outside of love. We are outside of acceptance of the whole. Nothing wrong with it. That's what our egos do. That's the human experience. We have to have, oh, this was what it means. And it's the same with Christianity. Okay, God. Well, what does that mean? Omnipotent, omnipresent? What about like Jesus? He's God. Okay, yeah, well, Jesus is God. But he's like a man and a God. But he's God and God. Okay, cool, got it. But then there's the Holy Spirit that like works within you and stuff, because also God, So we create this like three-headed idol of God to help us understand something outside of ourselves. Or look at Hinduism, where you have multiple different images of different elements of God. At least they're honest about it. They're like, these are idols of God. These are images of parts of God. We cannot define the entirety of God, but our little egos like to have a little image of God in part. So knowing that we cannot understand in total from our tiny little worldview, we will split God up into multiple likenesses with different representations of him in different imagery. So that's effectively an idol. So I don't know. Anytime we split stuff up, I like to understand that we're definitely outside of a moment. We're outside of a state of being. Nothing wrong with splitting it up. That's the human experience as well. But I'm also not really sure what you're talking about. So I just took it into a direction that I wanted to talk about. Welcome to my live. There's only 5 people here. What's up, everybody? Thanks for hanging out. I swear, I cannot, for the life of me, I'm going to follow whoever's here. We're friends now. I cannot, for the life of me, get TikTok to start being cool with me. They're such little assholes. I mean, I love you, TikTok. Love it. Take it in any direction you want. Yeah, for sure. All good here. But for the life of me, I cannot figure out how to get some more views up. You know what I mean? Maybe I just suck at doing lives. I don't know. I thought I was having a good time. One of the things for those of you obviously hanging out, you guys are learning some shit and having a good time, and I love it. I love seeing you here. One of the things in learning to process our emotions, learning to, I'm going to read this here. You're on point for where you need to be. Yeah, exactly. Everybody is. They're just having their own experience, doing their thing. But one of the things that I've found the most maybe beneficial in learning to sit with your emotions, or learning to process your emotions, and learning to have maybe a richer human experience, learning to come to ease with your experience, to be in a space of beauty with your experience, to love it, be in that peace that passes understanding. One of the most effective ways to do it, I've found, is to simply learn to sit with your emotions, to sit with your thoughts, sit with your emotions, sit with it holistically. And that, generally speaking, the easiest way to do it is to go sit and meditate, and be like, all right, I'm going to just sit with these emotions. It's like it forces your nervous system to gently re-regulate, because it's like you put yourself, and you don't have to just do it in meditation. It just means don't push them away. So when you're feeling big feelings, don't push them down. Just let yourself feel it. Okay, I'm just feeling this. Okay, it's gonna pass. I'm just upset. I'm just mad. I'm really sad. I'm angry. Just name it and just let it pass. Let it pass through. Feel it through your body. Maybe even move around. Maybe have a cry on a pillow or something like that. But literally just feel the thing through. Let it happen. Don't push it away. Because when we push it away, it seems to get stuck a little bit. And then when we keep doing it, it gets like bound up and bound up. And I don't think it's the emotions that get stuck. I think it's the conscious story that gets stuck because of things like synaptic pruning. We push the story away. No, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to think about that thing that makes me sad and hurts me. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about it. And when we tell ourselves I don't want to think about it enough during your REM cycles of sleep, those little bots come by and they crawl through the wiring and they go, hey, anybody using this memory over here? No? Okay, we're going to reroute this processing power over here. Snip, snip. You don't have access to the memory anymore, but you now have an instinctual feeling set. So simply sitting with your feelings and your sensations, you might not even know where they're coming from. But to sit in a space of peace, or to say, no, I am safe here where I'm having this anxiety attack. I am safe. I'm just let myself feel this. I'm just going to breathe. I am totally safe here. And it's like you force your consciousness to say, no, I'm safe. I'm just going to sit here and I'm safe. I'm just going to feel this. And then your feelings run their course. Oh, no. Ooh. And then there you are, safe. And your nervous system goes, oh. Like, okay, what's cool? We can, all right, we're good. And so then the next time you get worked up or triggered, it's not so bad. And then you can quickly bring it down in again. And then, okay, cool. And it's like, that's what I mean by the practice. You constantly are practicing like in the space of nervous system safety to rework yourself into it. And you'll feel it in your body and you'll realize that the thoughts are also happening. So to be able to just sit with your emotions and feel them is an actual a beautiful technique for re-regulating your nervous system. Doing that method in like a meditative space, a practice space, a disciplined practice space is very much like doing when you want to maybe lose weight. You can do a fab diet and you can lose the weight, but you really run the risk of like gaining it back, fast, and then screwing your system up even more. But if you do a gentle, like holistic approach of changing your lifestyle and your eating approach, then you'll change your lifestyle and you'll really make a difference in the weight, and it'll stay off. It'll be a holistic thing. And it's very much the same in practicing nervous system regulation. Like you can definitely go, and anybody that's been in an emotional alchemy session, the feels. You can get into some big feelings. You can really dive in there and work some really big things open, and you will feel real squirrely. You will feel off for a week, maybe a couple days, but it can really move some stuff around. You just feel you have to like relearn how you feel. And you can go blasting in there with psychedelics and stuff too. You can go do some ayahuasca and open it all up and give yourself a good 2 weeks to come back from that one, figure out what your life means again. Because effectively when you open these big emotions, you have to relearn what life means in your nervous system. When you fully open through some old thing that's been stuck, that you've been feeling your whole life, it's like you're no longer processing life the same way. And so all these old stories of pain and fear and stuff like that kind of start melting away, and you're like, what's happened? Like what? Like stop caring about so much stuff. So you can do it slowly and sit and practice every day. No, I'm safe. I have everything I need. I'm safe. My nervous system is safe. And you can just make a general conscious mindset kind of practice of it. Of constantly doing that, constantly bringing yourself back into a space of center. And you can augment that with deeper emotional practices, doing something like emotional alchemy, doing something like somatic experiencing, doing something like EMDR therapy, where you're kind of opening up into these old feeling sets, these old memories and things. And that really, really rapidly expedites the process of healing this stuff because you face it, you stand there like a badass and you're like, okay, bring it. Let's see what this is. Let's see what this thing is that I've been carrying my entire life and I've been running from my entire life, but it's just me. It's wild. Okay. You've gone from getting lots of views to likes less than 50. I got more views when I posted way less. Yeah, it's so weird, huh? Something's up with the talk. Mine's been off for 3 months. 3 months straight. Something's up. I'll think on it. I'm letting you have it and feel it. What you don't understand is it. Is it wrong? And you don't know why. Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. I still don't really know what we're talking about. So that all I can do is agree with you. I love you. I'm glad you're here. Anyway, it is frustrating, the TikTok thing. I get frustrated at a lot of stuff, but it's a weird frustrating thing. There's an ego element to it, but I'm like, whatever. I mean, at this point, I'm like, whatever, just fuck this account. Let's make a new one, whatever. It's TikTok. Get it to another 50,000 in a couple months. It'll be fine again. And then I won't say so much shit on TikTok, so it'll get me banned. I don't really have an egoic attachment to the account or anything, other than I'm like, man, that's a lot of videos. I'm gonna burn them. But it bothers me. I'm like, I want people to see the stuff. I want people to heal. I want people to learn how to fix their emotions. I'm like, fuck TikTok. Give everybody a break here. Give some real free good advice here, Anyway, I heard someone say that they had increase after 4 months of nothing. Huh. Okay, maybe I'll give it another little month or something. You want to sing a song? I don't know if I have a song to sing. I'll play a song though. I could sing a song in this key. A song I've sung before. But I don't know, you guys. Has anybody been here when I've sung before? I mean, there's only 7 of you here. And now there's 8. Guess if I didn't have my glasses on, I could read. Also, these lights are kind of blasting me. Oh, I will. I'm gonna sing them. Look at this. I haven't got my computer right here. I can pull up notes. Then, oh gosh, my computer. Why do you gotta be like that? I re-indexed my computer just to speed things up a little bit. And somehow, now when I use Spotlight search, it doesn't pull up any native apps. None. Is that as much zoom as we got here? My throat feels crusty today. Here we are on the way, experiencing pleasure. Let's see how the voice folds out. And here we are riding the wave, experiencing pleasure and feeling the pain. Live in the moment of God's holy kiss, and choosing to live in hell or in bliss. And we are free to feel and to be seen in this moment of perfection. We are free And you are free to see you in me in this moment of perfection. You are free. And here we are with a life gone past and holding to moments that simply don't last, grasping at emotions and holding the wind, feeling the weight of original sin. And here we are on the terrace of our mind and looking to future for the things we can't find, searching for what is complete in our hearts, hoping that someday we'll bring a fresh start. And we are free to feel and to be seen in this moment of perfection. We are free, and you are free to see you in me in this moment of perfection. You are free. And here we are in a moment of flow and feeling the things that cannot be known, living in beauty, accepting the sin, observing it all from a still place within. And we are free to feel and to be seen in this moment of perfection. You are free, and you are free to see you in me in this moment of perfection. You are free. Glasses are off. I had to read the words, I'm old. There's a song. I like that one. I couldn't really, my voice is kind of shot right now. It's feeling crusty. Ha! We're back on. What year was it? No Weirdo. No Weirdo? You're gonna be No Weirdo? I was born in 79. Whatever year that was. It was 79. Somebody do the math. Am I 42 or 43? I cannot remember. Got hypnotized, all right. Hypnotized is free tonight. Free hypnotizations. There's actually a recording of that. Oh yeah, I did a pretty good recording of that. Hold on a second. Hold on just 1 second here. I wonder if I could figure this out. Damn it, I moved the iTunes library. I bet it's in a non-indexed app that I can't look at Spotlight on. Voice memos. Let's try this. I'll let you guys hear it. But I actually did a good version of it. Oh God, so many voice memos. And I played some other instruments and stuff on it. Was this it? No. Oh yeah. No. No, that's a vocal. Are free to feel and to be seen in. That sounds like shit. Oh, sweet. Nice. Okay. This version's on the what the shit? Get out of here. Spotify just took over with something awesome. Here we are, running away, experiencing pleasure and feeling the pain, living the moment of God's holy kiss, Choosing to live in hell. This is like kind of a scratch version I just recorded on the iPad. To feel and to be seen in this moment of perfection, we are free. And you are free to see you in me in this moment of perfection. I'll put some electrics too. Here we are with a life gone past and holding two moments which simply don't last. Grasping our emotions and holding the wind, feeling the weight of original sin. And here we are on the terrace of our mind, looking to future for things we can't find, searching for what is complete in our hearts, hoping our future will bring a fresh start. And we are free to feel and to be seen in this moment of perfection. I hear all my like grunge influence coming out. It's like 30 years later, I can't stop playing Weezer. It's a different tuning. As I sit in the bliss of this moment. This is definitely like 90s rock inspired right here. Here we are in a moment of flow, feeling the things that cannot be known, living in beauty, accepting the sin, observing it all from a still place within, and we are free to feel and to be seen in this moment. There's always a little Weezer in there, always. Can't help it. I totally forgot about this. You are free to see you in me in this moment of perfection. Sometimes I'll write songs and things and I totally forget about them. And then I just like play it in my head and I'm like, wait, oh yeah, I love that. This part's cool. This was a dirty one, guys. That was a dirty recording. It was like scratch tracks on the iPad. It was all on the iPad. Like the drums were a mess. I just programmed them on the iPad. They're a mess. The bass is a mess. They're shit. But it worked out okay. Oh, you had to pull over first time you heard that one, Kenny? On the iPad? It kind of hit you in the little tingles, huh? That one hit me. That was a big one for me. Like that one just kind of hit me. I don't know, I was writing or something. That song just kind of came to me one night, sort of thing. I get some other ones in it. What's this one? Should I turn this on? Oh, this one's I wonder if I sang on this. I don't think I ever did anything with this. Connected to iPhone. Stop, Bayside or Pup, whoever this is, get out of here. I mean, I love you, but yeah, this is just a scratch idea. I never did anything with this. reminds me of Blues Traveler for some reason. I need a fucking harmonica. What were the words to this? It's hard to the place of soccer bar, but I take you behind. Comes and goes, love stays and grows, leaves me here, broken, unclear. Said something, something. Man, what are the words? I probably have the words written down somewhere too. Down to the heart, back to my heart, 'cause I feel and I find, feel and I find into love and knowing it's all mine. Down the places. Oh man, how's the song go? It's you and mine. Why didn't I finish the song? It's a good song. Turn it down and burn me down. Everybody pencil my phone still. I break my stone by stone. I am home. I am home. Is it called Some Fucking Love Song? Okay, that's enough. I have a song called in here called Some Fucking Love Song. I have no idea what it is. Came to me fast. Oh yeah, I remember that one. This one's cool though. I don't remember what it's called. I can't find it in my notes. I should occasionally look at my notes and voice memos to see if I wrote a song at one point and forgot about it. I think I would have named this something I could remember, right? You would think. It's not happening. Huh. Well, I guess I gotta rewrite that one. It's gone. Can't find it. Let's get a little tune though. What was this song called, you guys? I know I just scrolled past it. Even I? No. That's the notes. No. Ocean is, and I'll show you the moon. probably do this one. Sorry guys, I was just in my own little world there for a second, trying to figure out a song I wrote that I forgot about. Yep. Did I step into sound therapy? What's your frequency, Kenneth? We had a little talk about sound therapy earlier. It was pretty good. It is taking a huge, massive swing at the crypto market going to bring me inner peace. No, nothing will bring you inner peace. Nothing brings you inner peace. Inner peace is within all the external things. Inner peace is at the end of the undoing, not at the end of the doing. I say go for it, though. Okay, this has a lot of words. Why did I write so many fucking words? Give me a sec. Should probably pay attention to doing the live instead of just spacing out over here. What? What's going on here? That's still running. Hooray. Okay, cool. I'll sing you guys one more song. Ocean lanes and I'll show you the moon. Show me how deep your ocean is, and I'll show you the moon. Show me how bright your sun is, and I'll make the return. And down to earth, down to this place, away from pain in your embrace. Away from pain, away from pain in your embrace. That's how it goes. Down to earth, down to earth. How's that go? Down to your sun is, and I'll make the return. And down to earth, down to this place, away from pain in your embrace. It just flows like a river on the rise, and it knows like the heart when we've been long. Knows like the heart when we've been long apart, that there's safety in your eyes. Tides come and go, but love stays and grows. It leaves me here, broken, unclear, longing to find what's held inside. Why did I write so many words? Sacred mirror, a form so near, but I feel and I find and I heal and I shine, learning into love and knowing it's all mine. From the start into my heart, down in the spaces left apart, teaching me that I am mine. there's a few more verses on the bridge. I can't do it. Why did I write so many verses to a fucking song? No song needs that many verses. I can't do it. It's not a good song if it has that many verses. Hey, Jesus is Lord. God bless Buddha. Love you. Thanks for this. You're welcome. I'm gonna post all my guitar pedals in the Discord. You are? You want to see some sick guitar pedals right now? You want to sing? We'll do it in the Discord. Get on the Discord. We should have a guitar nerd Discord. Okay, does anybody know how to use Discord? Why the does this light look horrible? Not horrible. This one looks horrible. No wonder nobody's watching it on Facebook or YouTube. I'm trying a bunch of different streaming platforms right now to try to get it out to different platforms and then get a my idea is because TikTok is so sketchy and you guys hanging out, make sure you get on the Discord. That'll be like a little community board for us to talk with each other. If you just go to my profile links, it's right at the top right there. So we'll be doing that over there. So you'll always, I'll notify you when we're doing live and stuff like that. And we can have community talks over there. And we're definitely going to start one for guitar nerd stuff. All right. I'll show you some rares. Hold on. I got a box of them somewhere. So many of them are so dusty. I used to have so many guitar pedals, you guys. It was disgusting. Nobody needs that many guitar pedals. Ow! Go my legs! Nobody needs. Actually, I needed them. They were awesome. They were fucking amazing. Okay. I'm going to just put these here. Of course, these are like the rarest ones, and they're just sitting out there all dusty. I'll give you a quick little preview. That's it. Don't get excited. Don't get too excited. Oh gosh, covered in dust. Okay, let me hold on. I'll show you some. I think I only saved the. I have another box of other ones at my mom's house, I think. Let's see what's in here. All right, I need to get some more tea going, guys. That's important. Oh, there's a bunch of guitar pedals in here. So I thought was in this box. This is a good day. This is a good day. We're going to show these off in just a second here. For now, for any of you absolutely nerdy fucking guitar nerds, here's the world's dustiest pedal. But if you look beyond the dust, you'll note that it is a original warped vinyl from Chase Bliss Audio, first generation. And if you were to look on the back, you'll see where when Joel was building them by hand himself, he wrote serial number 8 really shittily. This is the 8th Chase Bliss Audio pedal ever made. And if you understand what Chase Bliss Audio is, you'll be like, damn. Anyway, Joel's a good friend of mine. And I really love what he's done with his pedal company. These are something else. Truly something else. Award-winning. Actually, yes, truly award-winning. He's kind of joking about that, but the man has won awards. All right, get your guitar pedals out, everybody. Now's the time to take a little stretch, stretch your back. Make some tea, get a little water or something, a little self-care. Maybe light a little incense, Get the mood going. Okay, you guys getting your guitar pedals out? T's not ready yet. Let's take a trip down memory lane, kids. Are you ready? I'll just send one person here left. 4 of you guys. None of the other ones. Okay, we're going to talk about guitar pedals for a second because this is important. I used to work with building music equipment, gear and stuff. Like these boxes behind me were all things my old company built, amps and stuff like that. Just build fancy stuff. So we worked in the guitar pedal industry, making pedal boards and things that hold these pedals. And I just ended up being friends with all of the, just being myself and networking everybody and like being friends with all of the guitar pedal builders because I was making pedal boards for their pedals. And I basically got them, I built them all demo boards and things like that. So I ended up getting friends with all these rad guitar companies, and they straight up would just send me the coolest guitar pedals ever, like limited run stuff. Or because I was working on their demo boards, I would get to keep like their old demo. They're just like, I just keep them, like the old ones. So I just have these piles of guitar pedals. Sometimes I like give them out at events. Guitar pedals. It's ridiculous. But I have this really cool collection of I don't know, probably 100 really nice, like cool ones. But I still have a few of Unfortunately, they're all covered in dust. This one is really cool. The Chase Bliss warped vinyl. This was a absolute revolution of a pedal when it came out. People were like, "What in the world? Like, how is what? Like the things that it does? It sounds like an old record player, and it does all these amazing, weird, warbly sounds. And it was supposed to sound like an old, like the sounds you would get from an old warped vinyl, like making your guitar sound. So it just does the coolest stuff. And when Joel started Chase Bliss, he was working for ZVEX Effects, which is, you may know, like the fuzz face, and not fuzz face, but the ZVEX Fuzz Factory. And if you know anything about guitars, you've heard of ZVEX. So Joel emailed me about buying a pedal board before he started this company, and he emailed me from a ZVEX email, and that was this little teeny company building guitar pedal stuff, And Joel, this guy from ZVEX emails, and I was all tingly, I was like excited about this, and just stoked. And ended up, he in those email exchanges when I was selling him a board, he was like, "Yeah, man," he's like, "I'm thinking about starting my own company," which is funny because everybody's always thinking about starting their own company. And I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna start my own pedal company." So I was like, "That's cool, man. Like, I love it. Like, keep me posted." But at the same time, you're like, "Yeah, everybody's starting a pedal company." And it was like a year later, he sends me a link. He's like, "Hey, man, I was going to tell you about this." He sends me like a video of this bootleg, janky-ass video on Facebook that he made, like in his basement. Hold on. T's ready. Almost ready. That's ready enough. Okay. So we got some guitar pedal questions. This is good. This is an area I can speak to. Want to get an OCD? You're going to run it at 18 volts? Get the extra headroom in there, or what? You're just going to stick with the normal 9 volts. You can run an OCD anywhere from 9 to 18 volts. The higher the voltage you run them at, the more headroom you're going to get on like how loud it's going to be. It'll be a little bit different texture. It's a little more aggressive at 18 volts. But those are cool pedals. They're real loud. They can be loud and kind of noisy sometimes too, but they're fun. What compression pedal do I like? What's that SB compressor? That teeny little one. I think it's on my pedal board. SB compressor. It's let me look at it. That's what I was using. I think it's SB compressor. Yeah. Is that by? Oh, Exotic. That's right. It's by a Japanese company called Exotic. A great little compressor. If you want, it depends though. If you're going for a specific tone, that's the thing with compressors. If you just want a good like working horse compressor for electric guitar, works with acoustic guitar too. You just need a little bit of that compressor flavor. The exotic SB does that really well. If you're looking for a classic kind of maybe like twang compressor, you know, any kind of orange peel variety compressor will do it. If you want like a fucking amazing compressor that'll blow your mind, is also like $600. Is the Origin Effects. God, what's it called? I had one of those. One of the original ones. Man, I don't think it was amazing. It's huge. What is the name of that? Cali Express compressor is just a phenomenal one if you're into slide and or lap steel kind of stuff. It really is a beauty. How long will I be on? I don't know. Maybe another hour, maybe less. Something like that. We were talking some guitar pedals. All right, here's a cool one. This is the Afterneath from Earthquaker Devices. It is a really intriguing cave-like cavern delay thing, like reverb that's almost a delay. It's like playing guitar, this beautiful like singing guitar sounds in this big cave. It's really cool, this cascading reverb. And this is Afterneath, serial number 1. You'll know it. Put it up there too. Oh yeah, the first one. I'd always hit up Julie whenever they were doing new pedals, and I'd be like, Julie, because I built them on their boards, their pedal boards, and I was like, I want under serial number 10. Whenever I saw one coming out that was cool as shit, I was like, I want under serial number 10. She's like, I got you. That one she sent me serial number 1. And I was like, Julie, thank you. It was cool. One of the original kilts from JHS, excellent drive pedal, phenomenal drive pedal. Love this pedal. This is the version 1, not super rare, but a cool one. That was one of the original ones. Actually, I think this might have been on a prototype one, or came. I think Josh sent that to me when I did the boards for this. I don't remember, something like that. This is a cool one. Oh, Randy's Revenge, Fairfield Circuitry, Boner Town. This is a ring modulator and tremolo that does some really cool robot sex party sounds. That's the only way I can describe it. I loved playing this thing in church. I loved playing all these weird pedals in church because I was so sick of playing guitar in church, but that was, you know, my job. That I would just get the weirdest pedals. Sometimes I'd arrange my pedals on my board by color. I would be like, I don't care. I'm just gonna like put them on and make them look good, and then figure out how to use them. Like, I don't care what it sounds like. I'm just gonna make it good. And I would play like intentionally like the worst tones I possibly could generate, and still find some way to make it work, like in the mix, so it sounded good. It was just my game I always played. So all these weird ass pedals. Now these are a couple prototypes with a little bit different. So that's an octave divider from Mootron and Boostron. These were actually, I got these from Rand. Look at this, is all peeling up. That's funny. This was like, these are like bootleg garage ones. Rand actually lives in he lives in Cardiff here in the neighborhood. He's a good dude. That's funny. These were like not production versions. These were like done in the garage. But a couple of protos of those. What the fuck's this? Oh yeah, I never even used this pedal. John just gave it to me from Badcat. I was up there hanging out one time. What does this pedal even do? Unboxing. I know, it's sick. I've never even opened this. Siamese drive. This is brand new. I don't even know. I should plug it in, see what happens, you know? It's got buttons. Ridiculous. So that was the thing. It was like I was like so saturated in pedals and guitar stuff that I just didn't even care anymore, you know? All these guitars around, I just didn't even care. I mean, I cared about my workhorses, like my main rig and my main pedal board and stuff, but it's like you can get too much of a good thing, you know? What's in here? Oh, The Spectre, another Chase Bliss. This one was actually faulty. I was supposed to send that back to Joel years ago. And he was going to fix it. Whatever. What the heck is going on? That's a flange. That one's not in production anymore. That was it wasn't a dud. It just wasn't like the best pedal ever, but it's a pretty cool flanger, that's for sure. We're talking guitar pedals now, which is highly spiritual, you know. I don't know if you know this, but there's spiritual signals going through every one of these guitar pedals. Oh, this is cool. Is this what I think it is? Yay, it's the Grind Fuzz. Covered in dust and shit. I gotta clean these things up. This is disgusting. Look at that. This is when Sayer was still building heavy electronics before he went big time. He built some really nice little circuits. It's covered in dust. This is a great fuzz. Really great fuzz. Simple, clean. It's got a voltage regulator right here so you can get the attack on it. I would play this thing as like an always-on fuzz at church because it was so you could profile it so well with the volume knob of your guitar that you could have it at the breakup point, and then you would have this like screaming fuzz tone on tap with like a little flick of the pinky. It's great. Killer pedal. Highly recommended. Thanks for the things. I'm glad you're not the only little pack rat that forgets what they have. Oh yeah, I got some things. You should see the tools and stuff. It's ridiculous. Nothing in that one. Oh, here's some specials. Oh, some specials. Ooh. Let's see. Oh, cool. Got some strange tone rockets. That was a great pedal. What's in here? Oh, the sonic compressor. That's a great compressor. I forgot about that. Look at this one. It's all Illuminati. When you kick it on, the eye lights up. This is another one from Heavy Electronics. Yeah, this is a really cool compressor. Unique flavor to it. Good for like some lead tone and stuff if you want to kind of have that like overdriven comp. I forgot about this one. I mean, not a stretch. All right, this one, the fried gold from Yellow Cake. God, these are so dusty. I feel horrible. This is a killer drive. And you know what the best part about this drive is? The PCB, the little circuit board in there, is the shape of a motherfucking lightning bolt. When you open it up, that really will give a guitar nerd a boner. I mean, just immediately. It's so arousing. It's beautiful. Anyway, killer drive, unique flavor. I don't even know what to liken it to. It's warm. It's maybe like a warmer. No, I don't want to say a warmer tube screamer. It's not a tube screamer. It's really dynamic. Great drive pedal. It's great. Like keep it a little loud and roll your volume back a little bit so you have it kind of on tap all the time. It's a really good one. This one is one of my absolute all-time favorites. Are you ready for this? It's covered in shit. This is literally like my all-time favorite. The Believe. There are no knobs on this pedal. It's just a button with the jacks for little eyes. I love it so much. That's it, right? It's literally my favorite. It was always on my board. It's an octave fuzz. So you put it first in line, and when it's on, it does this. Man, when you're playing down low, it does this wacky like pitch, like low octave. When you're playing it up around up past the 12th fret, and play it lightly, it does like just a straight like one up octave, really clean. And then if you dig into it down lower than the 12th fret, you get these really weird divided octaves with some fuzz on top. And up top, you get this really punchy, aggressive tone if you dig in for a lead with it. It was the most versatile, weird little pedal. I shit you not. It was so, I love it. The Believe by Love pedal. Pretty sure all his shit's like made in China and he pretends like it's made in the US, but. And if you can find it in pink, this is one of the only pedals I bought, honestly. In having probably, 300 pedals like changed through my hands in oh god, like a 5-year stretch. I think this one and maybe a couple I bought. This was the only one I think I bought like full. I bought it off eBay. Like I just bought it from someone because I wanted the pink one, which obviously, fuck. Everything else, I'm pretty sure I either like did trade stuff for or they just sent to me. It was outrageous. Okay, I'm gonna save push pull for last. This is similar, honestly. This Harbin Audio one. Oh, thanks, Chris. Good job, Chris. You son of a bitch. Chris from Benson Amplification up in Portland. If you know guitar amps, you probably know Benson Amplification. Chris is a good friend of mine from the industry, and he also had a company called Harbin Audio with his old partner, but then that got bailed, so they melted this one down. They had some really cool designs, though, if you ever find a random Harbin Audio out there. This one's an octave fuzz. Very similar, except for he threw this together like a dipshit because it's like everything's loose on it. I did not do that very well. Cool little octave fuzz, but probably never be able to find it, so don't even worry about it. And it's not even worth seeking out that much. There's better stuff out there. Now, these guys, oh, sweet little push-pulls pedals. This is a second version that Terry sent me. It's a guy from, he had been playing with Blue Man Group, and he was one of the, what did he play? The Chapman stick? He played lead guitar, and he played the Chapman stick for Blue Man Group for a long time. And he had a pedal company, and he became friends with me from Salvage, and I made him a custom rig, and we're kind of longtime friends from the early days. Man, he sent me some cool as shit pedals that are just unobtainable. This is one of the Sputnik fuzzes, but a compact version. The original Sputnik fuzz, or the Triton of Sputnik fuzz, was this. Look at this thing. Look at this case. Look at those knobs. Look at that color. Look at that hand stamp job. Do you see these little lights? They all light up when it turns on. You don't even have to play guitar when this turns on. All you got to do is look good on stage. And because you have this, you look good on stage. It's also number 6. Oh, I love it. It smells like an old suitcase, but I love it. Oh man, I'm probably going to sleep with it next to me in my bed tonight. But this is a killer fuzz. If you can find a Sputnik fuzz, a push-pull pedal Sputnik, there's so, I don't know what he did. He put some witchcraft in it. There's so much like mojo in this thing. The touch sensitivity, the nuance with different guitars. It is just something else. And then you pair that thing up with this little mamacita. Mwah. The Sandbee. So good. Look at this. Terry's like taste in aesthetics. Like, look at that aesthetic. Look at that case. Have you ever seen a thing like that? Anyway, so these are like bougie ass, like little handmade jobbers, you know. Some artists in a basement in Chicago kind of thing. But man, these both. This is very much like a tube screamer that has way more everything, more nuance everywhere. Super versatile drive, incredible fuzz. I found myself just having this always on all the time, and then I would turn this on for a boost. Anyway, love these guys. Okay, that's the Tour de Pedals. Tour de Pedals for tonight. I have another pedal board full of pedals right here, but I don't want to get it out. We'll do that another day. If you look up, if you look on Instagram, if you look up Salvage Custom, you'll find the old profile for my old company with building the guitar equipment and stuff. So you can see what I'm talking about. And we're still on that. Let's see if we're on that Discord. I wasn't paying attention. No, nobody's on there right now. That's okay. I could post a link to it if we want. Oh well, all is well though. Yeah, you saw that texture, right? You want to see it again, don't you? These are so good. I mean, this is like art for these guys, like these pedal builder guys. You know what I mean? Like, look at that aesthetic, those knobs, that texture. Sorry. I'm holding this. Well, no, nobody's on down there. We're okay. The other camera. And this one, when they all light up, it's so good. It's so good. Little micro switches even. Didn't use the long switches like Terry. Terry knows what's up. And Terry only used like the finest components, like the finest shit. He was testing every single. He would buy batches of vintage. This is why it has like a little mojo-y feel. He would buy batches of like carbon comp resistors. No, not carbon comp. The like the oil and paper. No. Yeah, they were carbon comp resistors, and then little oil and paper capacitors. So every component in it was this like new old stock vintage stuff. But he would buy big batches and he would test every single one for tolerance. So it would be exactly within his tolerance. So he would just have to go through a whole shit ton of them before he would find one that was within tolerance. And so all of his stuff is built with, or at least he used to do it like that, just built with like the raddest, like vintage stuff. And it was, man, they just, something about those pedals had some magic to them, that's for sure. I recently just saw him pop back up on Instagram. I messaged him. Looks like he's doing push-pull pedals again. I don't think he has access to those same cases, so it'll probably be a little bit different. But if you see one on the market and you're a guitar nerd, Terry makes excellent stuff. I'm not packing this very well. This is not going to work. Try this a different way. I guess I could do this part not on camera, right? Nah. This is real life. Oh, I missed the spot. Oh man, I'm good. Ooh. Sometimes I amaze even myself. I just Tetris the shit out of that. God, I used to love that. Doing pedal board setups for people and stuff. They just come in with the messiest rig ever. It's a shit show. Tear it all up, build them something new, and put everything together. All the wires all perfect. Oh, love that stuff. Okay, so any words of advice in a bit about letting go, since my 20-year-old is moving to Virginia on Friday? I don't know where you are, but I assume that's not where you are. 20-year-old is moving and you're letting go. Okay, we're going to have a couple things to deal with here now. There's a loss, you know, there's grief. Like, let's just be honest. Like, you're losing something that you're super familiar with, like an energetic thing that you're used to interacting with all the time. So I say allow yourself to grieve that, and you know that it's a perfectly beautiful process of life that must be done, and for their sake to support them fully, and you know this stuff, you know. But I think that it's okay to be sad, and I think that's even okay to express that, you know, say like, I'm so proud of you, and I'm so happy you're doing this, and I'm so sad. I'm grieving a little bit that you're going to be gone because I love having you around, you know. And it's okay to express that and have some tears together, and you know, have a little moment, and allow that to be a natural thing, because it's like breaking up almost, where you're used to feeling each other energetically. You're used to engaging with each other. And then now you're not going to be in the same space anymore, you know, so you're not going to be triggering each other's nervous system and things like that in the same way. And so all of that, the feeling of them, probably very similar to like an oxytocin bond in any relationship, and that takes 6 to 12 months to fade when the disconnection has happened. And generally speaking, with mindset, it's faster, but like if you can't let go, you know, it'll take longer. It'll take that 12 months. So I'd say allow yourself that grief process, and know that your emotions are going to be a little wonky. You know, you're not feeling it the same way, and that's okay. You know, It's all part of the process. It's all part of life. At one point in your life, there will be a separation, right? Someone's going to die. Someone will die first. Maybe they'll die at the same time. I know. But there will be a separation there, energetically. This person is no longer here. Now, when we have the natural course of life pass through, it's like all of the natural life energies pass through and they kind of degrade together in like maybe a partnership. But when something of those paths get pulled apart, it's like, oh, my life was all wrapped up in this. Ow. Like, what's happening? And it's like you have to have a little grief for it and kind of honor that space of, oh yeah, I am sad about this. This is definitely changing my energetic environment. A lot of things are changing here. I'm going to honor myself and my grief. I'm going to allow myself to feel these things and feel them through and stay focused, knowing that this is such a beautiful, meaningful thing. Just keeping yourself in a good mindset and super supportive will help you in your process, I think. And then as you learn to like patch it up and come to kind of a homeostasis with the feelings and things, you can practice when there's loneliness. And the same thing I like to do, in helping people in grief processes of not feeling the hurt so much of a missed loved one, of really embracing the missed loved one, kind of energetically, and almost remembering into the feeling of them. So if when you are apart from someone, remembering into the feeling of them, the feeling of them hugging me. And you can almost like generate that a little bit in your body. You can remember the feelings and you get a little kick of them. You're like, oh, there you are, and you almost learn to like love them so deeply in this realm or in death, or as it's your kid that is moving away or whatever, to accept them so fully and completely that you love them in this depth that it doesn't matter if they are here or there or on this plane or some other plane. All there is gratitude for them in that like energetic space, that oh, I'm so grateful for everything that they are in my life. It doesn't matter if they're here or not, they're here. I know them. So it's kind of a space like that you can sort of work yourself into, which I've found has been very healing for me, for dealing with the grief of my father, who was killed in a car accident, and it was real tragic. It's a real horrible situation. My dad and my grandma really shook the whole family up, shook me up real good. And years later, I figured out how to manage that grief. It was quite painful, for many years. Oh, hell, Terry. Yeah, Terry's, man, he's a good dude too. He really is. Yeah, you're happy for her, but yeah, exactly. She plays out and makes you cry. Oh, I didn't know that about the oxytocin. That makes sense. Yeah, yep. So yeah, with that oxytocin bond, you're gonna be feeling it the same way. That energetic space. You're used to feeling her magnetic pull. Right there. It's like going somewhere else. You move to a totally different climate and it just feels different everywhere. It's like it's different. Well, what is that different feeling? It feels different. It's because it's different energies around you interacting with your energies, and the strongest energy forces around you interact with you the strongest. So when you are next to somebody a lot, it's like two magnets. Our energetic feels like, wow, just when you're in there. I mean, your cycles are probably all lined up. It's just the way it works. It's energy, magnets. So just be aware that that's all part of the process, that some of that pain and all the things you feel are just a little bit of neurological disconnection, and you can just breathe into it and it's okay. And you can make a practice of every time you do this will cure your heart right up in a heartbeat. Oh, a heartbeat for the heart. Every time you feel that ache, that immediately bring in the feeling of your daughter. I'm so grateful for her. And just send her like all of like the good, like pretending you're hugging her almost, and just send her all of that like support, this energetic support in the field, like a prayer. you know. So you take that pain and immediately transition your nervous system into a space of gratitude and a space of love and a space of acceptance. So that will, you don't have to force out any negative feelings, but that would quickly change the way you feel. You would shift your nervous system into a different way of feel. It's, instead of being in pain, you're gonna be in a space of pleasure, a space of support, which ultimately would be good for everybody involved. So it's just a thought. Just a little, just try it. If you like it. Yeah, take any time, and that's a great way to do it with anything. Like, I had a bunch of people a couple weeks ago about doing the kind of anxiety test. Actually, I got to check back in with some people that were doing it. But every time they felt anxiety, the feeling, once you tap in, oh, I'm feeling anxious, to immediately change your perspective to like 5 things you're grateful for. Don't even try to be not anxious. Just allow yourself the anxiousness, like dual feelings. Allow yourself the anxiousness. Okay, I'm anxious, but what are 5 things I'm grateful for? And you shift your neurological state into feeling better immediately. And so you can kind of train yourself out of the normal anxious feelings triggering up to, now it changes your nervous system to be like, oh, I'm feeling good. I'm grateful. Oh, this is great. I love it. You just like shift your nervous system right out of some old feeling sets. But it takes a desire to change, to give up old stories and to give up old pain and things, and to live deeply in the moment, to do that. And so to live in the moment with your daughter when she is somewhere else, how do you do that? But through feeling her in the field. Here's a neat one. You can effectively feel with focus and awareness of feel your daughter just at the same extent in anywhere in time and space, anywhere, at the same extent that you can feel her in physical presence. Why would I say something like that? I say you can do this. I say something like that because theoretically it works in my head. And here's what's neat about you and your daughter. You've never touched, not even when she was in utero, you've never touched her little body. She's made out of atoms, right? An atomic field. Atoms don't touch. They're suspended magnetically. So she came sliding out of your uterine canal in a field of magnetic repulsion. You've never touched her body, not once. You've only ever felt her energy. You've only ever felt the concept of her in the field. Now you're very close to it. It was easy to think you were touching her. But you can touch her just as vividly through a state of mindset state, a state of feeling into her. You know what she feels like. She's your daughter. You can feel her. You know what that feels like. You've been doing it your whole life. You know when something's up. You've been feeling it your whole life. Just tap in on it. And then you can hug her right there. Just like you've always hugged her without touching her. But with a big old hug and the same feelings. This too shall be rad. That's right. This is going to be amazing for her too. She has an awesome energy. Yeah. Okay. So get mystical about it. I mean, that's all. Those yogi stories and Jesus stories of them reading people's minds and stuff like that. Like that's what they do. Just feel into it. I feel into clients all the time. I do witchy energy work all the time. I sit there and I look at you in the camera and we chat for a little while. And as I watch your energy and really start to like empathize with your story, I start to feel your emotions. And I can tell you in your body, oh, what's that right there? Do you feel that? You go, oh yeah, I do feel that. Usually I feel it before you feel it because I keep my body in a clear state. And you guys, come in with all this dysregulation, and immediately, as soon as I tap in on it, I'm like, oh, I feel it. That hurts. It's easy to identify. I feel it. Okay, that's good. But yeah, you can tap in like that in the field. It's not. It just seems weird. It's not even mathematically. It's not even weird. It's not weird at all. It just seems weird, because we're like scared of witches. It's just math. Anyway, how do you get out of feeling stagnant and disconnected? Yeah, that's a great question. That's the hardest one. Because it's like, it's like you can go, it's like, how do you're a little depressed. You can say you're depressed. It's okay. I get depressed. I get situationally depressed. That's a relative scale. I'm pretty undepressible at this point in my life. But I feel the feelings hit, and I'm like, nah, I don't care. Not going to deal with it. Nah, I'm good. I'm good at shifting out. But so it's like we all know what to do. It's like, okay, I'm feeling down. Like, all right, go move your body, go drink some water, go take a shower. Take some deep breaths, for crying out loud. But man, that's like the last thing you want to do when you're all down. It's like to get up. It's like, I'm down for a reason. Let me just be down. It's the last thing you want to do is get up. So sometimes when you're feeling down, you got to just sit with it and be like, well, why am I feeling down? You're a little depressed. You're in a state of deep rest. Your body needs rest. And it's like a psychological thing. Why am I so down? What are my expectations that are not being met? So use your depression to find out why you're depressed. Just be depressed, it's fine. It's a thing to do. It's not like it's wrong. It's one of the many things of life. Sometimes we're depressed, sometimes we're not. But if you want to get out of those states, you have to start practicing yourself out. And the only time you're ever going to make a change is when the depressive state hurts more than facing your fears. And then you'll face your fears. Then you'll face why you're feeling that way. But you got to get depressed enough to really get sick of it. So, if you're depressed or if you're getting depressed, like go get depressed, like really get after it. Really give it your best, And then you'll be down there and you'll be like, I don't want to do this. This sucks. And you'll figure out how to get out of it. But it's like the stupidest thing. It's the hardest thing too. It's like the second you stop looking down, you're looking up. You're not depressed anymore. But just to look up, it's like it hurts your eyes. Maybe you need some shades. It makes it easier. The big lights are on. You can be like, okay, that's not so bad up there. Oh. And then the second you come out of those depressive states of being down and stagnant and feeling it, and you come out in spirit and in body, as in you stretch your body out and up and you open back to the world instead of being all closed off. Like that faces your fears too. Ooh, that's scary just to open myself to the world. So once you come out of the shit, you'll realize, oh, I was just looking at this shit. Look at this out here. It's real nice. It's a process, don't judge yourself in it. Just look wherever you want. And if you want to get out of uncomfortable spaces, face your fears and get a little uncomfortable with how you feel about things. And then you can figure out why you feel that way about things. And you can then drop those things which are weighing you down in the shit. And it's sort of a kind of holistic, natural process. You're the best, man. I appreciate it. Haha, my red girl got stuck on my sternum once. I was like, sorry, bro. Yeah. Sometimes with the big ones, the big emotions. Honestly, I started when I first started learning how to tap in with other people. Honestly, it came from a lot of hugging, if I'm being honest, real honest. Like learning how to read someone else's body and energy and emotions and things like that. Like it's a thing. I can do it, especially if someone's in person with me and I really tap in with them. Like I can feel on their body and be like, what's this? Like with my hands, like, what is this? And they're like, oh, that's been bothering me for weeks. And it's not like a knot in their body. It's like I feel some energetic thing in there. And sometimes I can, if I really rest into the feeling of whatever that is inside of them, I know the story of it in a vague sense. Maybe not the exact details, but I understand why they're feeling the way they're feeling. You know what I mean? Maybe you don't. It's a weird thing. But I started when I was leading this meditation circle, I accidentally did it. I would, every time someone would come in, and I had I did it for 18 months, and it was 6:30 in the morning every morning. Which, by the way, we're doing a meditation every morning at 6:30 on TikTok Live, and you should definitely join at 6:30 Pacific time. And people would come in the circle, and they would, it's like 6:30, everyone's kind of stumbling in there, and I just greeted everyone with a big hug. Everybody got a bear hug. It's like, come on in, I got you. And it was just real gentle and nice, and everyone was kind of sleepy, and I would give everybody a big hug, and I started realizing, oh yeah, everybody's in these different spaces. Of course, they felt tension, they felt a little closed, and you could always tell with a hug, if somebody was open or closed. And I started realizing, oh, this person is just by body language, that's not me. I'm just here in the space of acceptance, and they can have a hug or not. And, so I could not a demand or anything. And but some people were more closed than other, and then I started kind of clearing myself out every morning before meditation. I would go and meditate before the meditation. I'd do a little 20 or 30-minute sit, and I would do some very specific, like a breathwork exercise for bringing any like sexual energy up to heart space, so I could just be in a really clear, open space. I was like, I just want to be open heart, and that's it. I don't want to be thinking about this. I don't want to be like feeling about this. I just want to be an open heart. That's it, And so I was intentionally working my own feelings energy to be in this pure, like, open space. And then when I went and hugged everybody, and I started kind of feeling their body language, I was like, oh. And then I started kind of feeling their feelings, because I was right there with them, and just being open and receptive to them. Like, what do you need? And I could start feeling like the stories of them. And I started to realize, oh, this is like me energetically and all my feelings, and this is all their feelings. There's this very like vivid contrast of it. And then as that circle started to grow, I was maybe like rubbing someone's shoulders, and I would feel tension that they were holding, and a little story would come to mind, and I'd be like, hey, as soon as you talk to whoever you need to talk to, like, this is going to go away. And they're like, how did you know that? And I was like, I don't know. Like, that's all I was thinking about this morning. I was like, I know it's stuck in your shoulders, I could feel it right here. I don't know, stuff like that would happen. I would just feel this tension in somebody's body and be able to sort of read it in my own body and understand the story. And then that's like this not an image or anything vivid would come. It was just the feeling of the story. Like, I know you need to go talk to somebody. You're holding all this like being back. That's what it felt like. And so then I said, hey, you need to go talk to the person. And they're like, how did you know? I was like, yeah, well, your body told me. It felt exactly like that, So that's sort of like, I guess, witchy energy reading. So in session work with people, when we're working through emotional stuff, I just keep myself in a clear space. And when I tap in with you in your emotions, then I feel it deeply, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's work on this, and I'll try to walk you in on it, and then I'll also take it in on me. If somebody's in a state where they're really getting lost in the experience, I'll be like, give it to me, I got it, and I'll somehow pull something through. I feel it like blasting. And I felt some very, very, especially in in-person sessions, I have felt stuff exploding through my body for other people's pain and trauma, like weeping, like coming through me and just like pouring out of my face and everything, just like almost like gagging, like the feelings of somebody when they're like fully open into trauma and you're some old thing, and you're with them, especially in person, and pulling like their energy through. It gets wild. It's some wild stuff. You really like feel all of it with them. You just got to deal with it. It's like, that's all. Everything's fine. Oh, I forget. Meanwhile, I'm like ready to throw up. Some witchy shit, that's for sure. How do you personally get through feeling disconnected? How do I personally? Wait. Oh, here we go. I missed some things up here. I'm gonna give you some. I don't ever feel that, but we'll talk about it some more. I get that I have to be careful with people's energy since I do hair. I'm all up in the seventh chakra. Oh yeah. You like feeling their shit. You fell asleep this morning, Brenda. I love it. Good job. Get some good vibe rest. Okay. How do I personally get through feeling disconnected or stagnant? If I am feeling, I don't ever really feel I feel deeply connected all the time. If I'm ever feeling a little stagnant, I kind of ask my body, okay, well, what do am I sick here? What's going on here? What do I need? What am I asking? What am I scared of? And I'll try to feel into those feelings of like, what's keeping me from moving forward, and ask myself those questions. If I am just like, man, I need some energy here, I will do a couple different, maybe breath work practice, maybe like breath of fire, or I will do breath of joy, which is a standing yogic posture. Um, yeah, breath work's great. Different things for picking your energy up. Really changes the neurochemistry state of your body. You can do things like take a cold shower in the morning, which is not just to like wake you up, but it really does wake you up because it increases your dopamine level like crazy. If you finish your shower and get ready to breathe deep because this is gonna suck kind of thing, just turn the hot water off, just right off. Let the cold water hit you, just blast it in your chest, breathe. It sucks. And then as you breathe out, like turn your shoulder, get your neck, get your armpit sucks. Work yourself around your whole body. Get your entire, once your body's like equalized, it's not shocked anymore, then you're good. Get out of the shower, you're done. And what happens is this neurochemistry event of that where you have this massive dopamine increase, and it really boosts your output. It really boosts your energy. So if you are stagnant and you're like, I gotta get out of this, you can try some practices like that to change your state. What's up, Daniel? Hope you're well, man. I am doing well. Glad you're here. Dropping some love. Hello, Ashley. Good to see you. Oh, Ashley's hair is the best. She's a little crystal witch too. Ashley, I'm gonna come over and screw that thing into your wall. I remember that I forgot to do that on Thursday. I got distracted getting the kids, but I'm gonna come screw it into your wall one of these days. I promise. Ashley has so many crystals, you guys. So many crystals. You should follow her. She's fun. She has so many crystals that she bought an entire retail display cabinet, a big glass one. She put it together all herself, like a champion. She didn't even call me. And she has a big glass display with a bunch of crystals in it. It's phenomenal, honestly. I'm supposed to screw it in the wall just to make sure it doesn't fall over. Oh man, 9:40, guys. I'm gonna probably get out of here. Oh yeah, we've been going for 2.5 hours or so. Oh hey, we got somebody on this other feed here. I've been. We got someone on the Twitch. Hey, what's up? Good to see you there. I've been experimenting with running a few different feeds here, and so anybody who's hanging out, couple things. Please do go to my profile links. There's a new fun thing in there of a Discord for a little community discussion. Where we can be chatting about things we've talked on lives, maybe books come up, things of reference, things like that. So I want to start a few threads over there of different discussions. Anybody who's in emotional alchemy, having our own group of a support group on there, and getting some people together. So please do follow the link tree in my profile. I don't know if that link tree is on Twitch. We can figure it out though. And you can also find in that link tree, you can get to my brain just stopped. What's this? That's how tired I am right now. Discord. You can get to the Discord. You can get to my website if you need some help with emotional alchemy stuff, if you need help working through some emotional things. If you want to figure out how to move to the next space of life, you need to really get past something. If you need some spiritual counseling and or coaching, I'd be happy to do a call with you. There are multiple prices available because I really have a heart to get everybody the help that they need so they can live in a beautiful way. So if you don't have money for a full session, there's a pay what you can option on the website. Please use it. Use it. I will not ask questions. If you know you need some help and you want to get in there, I will find a way to get you in the schedule. We'll make it work. Okay, don't worry about it. And for the rest of you that have jobs and things like that, please do jump on there as well. There's the regular price, Emotional Alchemy. And I'm happy to meet you guys anywhere in between. I do not want it to be out of reach for people. It's important to me that it not be. All things were out of reach for me when I was kind of in the depths of my pain. I didn't have anything. I was just, all I could do was meditate and read books and stuff. Like, go get some books in the library. And I didn't have anything for any kind of help. So I know there's a lot of people out there that are hurting and don't have a lot. And if I have space in the schedule, I'll totally help you. So get over to the website, and be happy to help you tune some stuff up. One area I've been really working with a couple clients that I'm really excited about, and it's an area where I always give a disclaimer that I am not a doctor. I just play one on TikTok. But we've been working in the area of relieving autoimmune symptoms and gut dysregulation through some psychoimmunology work of changing the emotional state, which changes the state of the gut, and it creates an environment for much better health. But a few people that have been like, "This is a miracle." I'm like, "Calm down. I'm not a doctor." It's like it's just figuring out the body. You know, we got some approaches here that we can do things with a little bit of mindset work and a few dietary changes. We can fix stuff easily. Trauma work, like digging in on the old wounds. That's what causes that energetic environment for these things. But as far as like tuning things up in the body, once you get to the roots solved, it's really not that hard to fix your body up once and re-regulate. You know. What's up, Diehika? Can I just call you Tejas? I'm just gonna call you Tejas from now on. No, I really like saying Tejas, Jessica, though. Jessica, we got a Discord, so we can all chat and hang out over there. It's in the link tree in the bio. You guys know what to do. But yeah, I'm stoked. Someone from Twitch is hanging out. We're gonna be doing this more regular. Whoever ye be over there twitching. I don't know how to work my Twitch, but we're gonna figure this out. Anyway, welcome. I should look over here and say hi. Super glad to have you. I'm going to be streaming here on Twitch. I'm also going to be doing on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram as soon as I can get that ported in as well. So there is some live fun everywhere and having a good time. Thank you for the tiny diny, Jessica. Oh, here's a good question. How does Kundalini relate to Jesus? I love that. There is we gotta get Alex in here. He was on one night, and I always reference his stuff because he's been studying this stuff deep. I even told him, I was like, dude, I'm gonna get you your own, like, let's talk about Jesus message board, because he's studied a lot into these ancient deep traditions of like the predates, you know, Christ, these energy work things, and they have the same story of Christ through them, but it's this idea of the Christ consciousness, the energy in that Kundalini thing of Christ like filling you. But as far as Alex is concerned, the Kundalini is only half of it. There's a second flow of the energy that you have to bring in through these sets of practices. But effectively, it is the same energy state that you're creating in your body through these practices as what would be perceived of as the Christ consciousness. So that's how there's a tie over in some traditions between like Kundalini energy work and stuff, or even like Kriya Yoga from Self-Realization Fellowship. All those things are kind of designed to make you feel like Jesus, I guess, and give you some tingle up your dingle. You know, it's really your mindset, though. Oh, every day. We've been doing a 6:30 meditation every day, specifically every day. So I was late like 10 minutes one day, but we've been going for 2 weeks. I'll be there every day. Don't worry. I'm going to show up. If I'm not there every day, if I'm not there one morning, it's okay. You know, I wasn't there that morning, but I'm good at being consistent on those things. I ran a meditation circle for 18 months and I didn't fucking miss it. It was rain or shine. Didn't matter. I'd crashed my one wheel. Didn't matter. Go limping in. I was there. So we'll be there at 6:30 in the morning, every morning, Pacific time. And I will lead you in a meditation, rain or shine, sickness and or health, Christmas morning and or fucking not. I don't give a shit. 6:30, be there. We'll do a meditation. It's going to be great. Oh, yeah. Every morning. Tinks has been there. Tinks she's our champion meditator right now. So Tinks, remember, when you miss a day, don't judge yourself, all right? Oh, and also for the person watching on Twitch, if you follow me on TikTok, we're doing a live meditation at 6:30 Pacific time every morning on the TikTok live. I don't think I'm going to set up the whole computer get up and have multiple streams going, but feel free to join us. It'd be great. And yes, Tinks jumped in there and just started meditating 2 weeks ago. Whatever reason, we just ran into the account. She's like, I'll try this. Has had some emotional movement. Has had her life go. We were talking about it this morning, and it was like, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, before you started meditating 2 weeks ago, how like generally agitated was your life? Like 1 being peaceful and 10 being like really agitated. And what did you say? You said about a 7? You're like, just 7. I was just fucking agitated. And now your general energetic state is more at a 2, where you're processing everything in life. It's this calm space and things like that. So I love it. I love it. What's up, Nicole? You're digging the group meditations. Nicole, we set up the Discord, and I'm gonna have a channel in there specifically for our church trauma people. Us. Just us. And all the other church trauma. But it's gonna be good. Ooh. What musical instruments would Jesus have played? Guitar, bass, drum, or flute? None of those were invented in his time. At least the modern flute. Obviously, drums were invented, but guitars were. God, what were they? They weren't even lutes yet. There was something else. Jesus would have rocked that flute, though, dude. He's like skipping through the field like a badass. That'd be sick. Flute solo, Jesus. Can you imagine that robe with his flowing hair, skipping through the hills with all his disciples, children running about, flute solo? Oh, it's like a dove lands. That'd be great. I'd go see that show. Brenda, get some sleep. See you in the morning. I'm sipping some blueberry lavender tea. Blueberry Daily Beauty. Oh, black. It wasn't blueberry lavender. It was lavender blueberry. But it has beautifying botanicals in it. So it must be my secret. Maybe the harp. Yeah, little drummer boy. Yeah. Did a harp. Jesus would have kicked ass on a harp. Yeah, that's kind of like, I guess we're going with the whole lineage thing. He was in the lineage of David, and so David was a harp guy, he was into it. He likes harps and chicks. Super into it. Flute solo. But yeah, think about Jesus doing the flute solo. Like, that'd be way cooler than a harp. Because Jesus was like, here's the thing. I think Jesus was like a lot tougher than, people make him out to be. And I know, like, harp's cool. It doesn't really give the right image. I know if you're thinking maybe a flute's not the right image, but you got to think culturally speaking, to really embrace that inner masculine, to really give that flute a good flute. You got to think about it like that, is really what I'm trying to say. It's not funny if you laugh at your own joke, Daniel. Stop. Oh, it's not even a good joke, and I was making myself laugh in my own head. What would be rocking show? Judas would be the bad manager. Yes. Judas the bad manager. Where's your money, Judas? Oh, shit. Where's our drink coupons, Judas? Oh, man. Too good. Too good. Okay, guys, I gotta go to bed. I'm deliriously tired right now. I got 3 calls tomorrow. But I love you all. Thanks for hanging out. And please do follow on other platforms. TikTok is a little bit weird. Hey, we got a Facebook watching and a Twitch watching over here. Hey, guys, good to see you. But do feel free to hit that link tree. Follow on the other platforms. Get in that that Discord group. We'll kind of expand those into some cool support areas, and we'll have a good time. We can chat over there. I'll be on there, so you guys can chat it up. If you guys got questions and things like that, I'll try to answer as much as possible, so we can just keep going throughout the day, and then have fun notifications for when cool stuff's happening. That way, when TikTok screws up everything for us, we can still party. You know what I'm saying? So, Other than that, if you guys need some help with your emotions, with working through some shit, it's time to clear some stuff out. You want to have a nice little breakthrough, you know where to find me. Just at danieltyack.com. It's pretty simple. It's my name with the .com, and then you can get some emotional alchemy help. You can get some guidance calls, and if you just need to talk and ask some questions to see if it's right for you, just hit the email thing and say, I got a couple questions, and we'll get on the phone and we'll talk. So it'll work. It'll be great. All right, TikTok fam, I love you guys. We will see you in the morning for meditation, 6:30, bright and early. Chickens will be out, wandering around. So get ready to party. Love you all. Look at this. We got Facebook and Stitch hanging out. Twitch. God, that's how bad it is, guys. I just signed up for Twitch today, right? I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't even know what it's called. So let's be honest. But the plan is to have as many. Why does it look like shit? But the plan is to have as many. Why does it look like shit? Video quality, auto. What if I go to 720? I have my settings like maxed out. What is going on here? I have my settings like maxed out. Dear Twitch user, I don't know why it's being a little asshole like this. I appreciate you being here, though. I'm trying to figure out the quality situation. I'm going to look on the old YouTube, see if it's streaming over there. Okay, I don't need my speaker talking to me. Now we're in test mode. It's happening over on YouTube. It looks like shit on YouTube. Why does it look like I'm filming with a potato? There's one person watching. Guys, I don't know what's going on here. I have a good camera set up with good lights. I'm running through Restream. And it's at max settings. Why is it being like that? You're going to have a little talk with them. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. For those that were hanging out, hopefully we get these feeds actually working, because this is a pile of shit. And we'll have some good times hanging out and learning to heal our emotions and having a good time.